So we know we're back because Ignacio is here from Pellicer and Heredia, Abogados, and we've talked about some of the new bits for 2024. When I was promoting it earlier on before you came in, I said it's always good value, and I like asking you about the court cases because you like tell the judge off.
Yeah.
You tell him what he's doing wrong.
Well,
You don't mess about in there. You can't.
yeah. Well, last Monday I had one, and this time was about damages in a property in a condominium in a building. And this lady on the 7th left the water open, the tap open, or just shower, and start going the water into the 6th floor, 5th floor. So the guy who's looking after maintenance of the building just to tell the guy that he had water, but it was rivers of water. Well, here we go. You know how these things work. Some flat will have insurance, some flats don't have insurance, and then the lady had her own insurance, but you know how the insurance are. Sometimes they're square. They're robots and squares.
Sure.
So it took this client an average of. They wouldn't repair it because they wouldn't send somebody to repair it, but you had the damage, and they wouldn't pay because they argue with your invoices. I mean, I spent €1,500, but they wouldn't pay. They wouldn't pay because they think that's not the right price.
Right.
Because, insurance.
Yeah, I think when you're working for an insurance claim,
they depreciate. They say, well, and that was
Sure.
the case about in court. And I had to bring the carpenter, the painter, because they will appeal these invoices. They will say, basically, that price is not correct. Well, the price is what it is. I mean, you just hire people to repair your property because they are not repairing the property.
Yeah, sure.
And sometimes you think about all these things and say, what a waste of a lot of time and stress for people, because the stress, you never get paid for it. It's very hard. Then you have, you need to find your own people to do it. And it's never perfect because it's never the same way it was. The lady will rely on the insurance. Say, no, that's my insurance.
Well, at least she had insurance. That
Yes.
could have been a whole mess otherwise.
The otherwise, I would have had to sue her anyway,
Yeah.
but she would have had the representation. And if she didn't have money, obviously, it's pretty much like suing somebody with no money. It's a waste of time as well.
Yeah. Where was it going to come from? Sure.
And I'm waiting for that that sentence. And another one that you will love is about immigration. I don't know if I told you last time, I went to Murcia. That was 2023 December, right? And it was a great debate, judge, us, and the lawyer of the state, about the Brexit thing. You remember the TIE pre-Brexit, but there is still people there, Moody, without that TIE. We're still fighting through the courts. And this judge in Murcia, he's not that used to so many experts. He start asking me about the situation. But they are so stubborn, this administration, so stubborn. I could be telling you stories all day. That they would not accept the insurance if it was not on the date of pre-Brexit, which the law doesn't say anything about it.
No.
But they carry on and going and going and going. And now they're still appealing the decision. We won. We got it 1 week ago. We got it. But now they decide to appeal it. And I say, these people, they get me upset. My blood pressure goes up.
Well, sure. Yeah. I mean, that makes no sense because if you're trying to get everything correct for your TIE application, it just shouldn't matter if the insurance was in place before, as long as it is now and it's ready to go.
So now they decide to appeal. Yeah. I had the interview with the clients
so
yesterday just saying, I'm sorry, but this is what has happened. I mean, now we need to deal with an appeal. Probably we need to go back. But the good part of it, I'm going to ask for a preliminary measure so they will have a temporary TIE. That's
right.
Based on the grounds that they already got a good sentence in their favour.
Sure.
I'm going that today for it. So, well, that was another one. And that was I think that was the second sentence in Murcia about Brexit.
Really?
That was December.
Last I read, no one had been kicked out of Spain for overstaying, not having their documentation.
No, they're not being aggressive on that. I mean, the only thing I should tell people is that if you are more than 3 months out of the 6, obviously that is going to affect you dealing with the administration. For example, if you're dealing dealing with, I don't know, golden visa or non-lucrative visa, you cannot apply if you are illegal or if you're irregular.
Right.
So you need to be careful. The consequences of that. I haven't seen being deported because of that, not yet.
No. There's been some around the EU, but not in Spain itself.
No, they're not being aggressive on that. But, I think the non-European had enough already of dealing with visas, and they are probably not being that pushy because the visa is hard enough anyway. So,
visas are something you've covered quite a bit with the previous webinars on the website, which stream live. And as I say, you can tell we're back in action for 2024 because you have one later today.
Yeah, we have the one for relocation. I thought it was a good one to start the year.
That's a broad subject. Yeah. So that involves everything, including visas, of course.
Yeah. Okay. But the beauty of it, Moody, is people get into the chat, live chat, and they send you their questions. Mm-hmm. And, and I think it's great when we are three lawyers, it's Pedro, Michael, myself, and sometimes I bring somebody from the office as well, just to be faster answering all the questions. And I think it's good because you've got an opportunity to have 1 hour of our time to just discuss, all of us, loud, on the situation and recommendation, and I think it's good, and it will be recorded anyway.
Yes, so you can watch these back. There may be previous ones covering something that you need to know, but that is 6:30 Madrid time. So I see what you're doing. You're catching the New York folk.
Yeah,
make it a suitable time for people in the States as well. 12:30.
It's very hard to please everybody because with different time scales and different But anyway,
but that makes sense, because it's a big market now. North Americans coming over here.
Yeah, a lot of them are coming over, and all of them need the visa as well, and the tax, and so there's a wide advice to give before they even make a move.
Okay, so this, if you want to ask questions, you will need to register in advance.
Correct.
And you can do that easily enough on the website. So easiest way is alicantilawyers.es. If you go to the live TV bit where there's the red dot, webinar sign up, do that for late. Still time, obviously, now to do it for later on this afternoon. 6:30 Madrid time, that's 5:30 UK and the Canaries. And, get involved if you're thinking about it, about moving over. As you always say, as much as you can do in advance and get in place before you come here.
It's never enough, is it?
The better. I'll tell you what, so that's on the webinar, on the website, alicantilawyers.es. Take a quick tune and talk some more in just a moment here with Ignacio from Pellicer and Heredia. This is BayRadio.
You're listening to BayRadio.
It's been around for a couple of years. You know how the rest of this goes. Just jumping in here because we have Ignacio in from Pellicer and Heredia, and we're about to run out of time as well. Dougie Mac here in about 5-6 minutes' time here. Well, we've covered plenty, including talking about the webinar later, which will take in, I guess, all sorts of visas. How's the Nomad visa going? You managed to get any more out there?
Yeah, they're working fine, finally. And but I think they put more people in Madrid.
Oh, really?
Yeah. For these speciality, Nomad and Golden.
Yeah, with the Nomad visa, there were lots of categories where they were looking for, especially if it's research and
that's right.
Teaching, whatever.
Self-employed, or just working for another company or working for a company here. So there is a lot of varieties. Whether there is an agreement between the home country with Spain, I mean, UK has it. United States has it, but some countries do not have it. So you need to register yourself as self-employed and pay Social Security here. Even though you work for the companies outside, you're allowed to work for 80% outside and 20% here.
That's right.
Is going fine. Is working good. Now it's progressing. They're very strict, I should say.
Yes, I mean, when it was touted at the beginning, I was picturing, a kid with his skateboard working on his laptop on the beach, doing just little bits and bobs. Yeah. But you need to be earning a certain amount as well.
Yeah, definitely.
To qualify for it.
Yeah, it's a mixture with the Golden Visa. I mean, you still need to have 27,000 euros in the bank 1 year or 30 for 2 years. So you still, it's like the non-lucrative visa. You still need to have that kind of money. Then the Nomad visa, it could be applied for non-Europeans, obviously. And then you have the tax side and the Social Security side. So it hits three different subjects, law fields. One immigration, one the tax, one Social Security.
Sure.
So is the most complex, or one of the most complex. The work visa is very complex as well.
Ideally, you'd have a contract from a company you're working for outside of Spain. That makes things a lot easier. Yeah.
You have to. And the company needs to be established, needs to be running more than 1 year. Your relationship needs to be more than 3 months. They need to allow you to work remotely. So that's they need to authorize you. Social security, if they pay in the home country or you pay here. And there are a lot of things, and it takes time, a lot of preparation, Moody, a lot of papers, a lot of legalization, translations, and submission. And then sometimes they get back to you and say, well, clarify this subject or clarify that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So, as I always said, plan ahead. If you're coming over here, try to have it all ready, because problems come by itself, don't they?
All that paperwork, that just sends a shiver through me. All that, you get bogged down in
yeah,
things.
but we're used to these things.
Sure. And anyone that lives here, totally worth it. Worth sticking with it. If you can make it out to Spain, then great.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Well done.
And and then you can renew it as well as much as the contract lasts.
Right.
So that's very good. Even though the tax is going to only last 6 years, the flat fee, we discussed the 24% up to 600,000 euros income. And then from there is 47%. But that's going to last only up to 6 years.
Oh, okay.
Right after that, they will be like normal residents, like everybody else.
Ah, that's a new thing. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Every day, Len. Yeah.
Yes, right. And that 6 years will fly by very quickly as well. But no, don't let it put you off. If you're thinking about making the move out here, talk to yourselves or watch this, because that will be covered, as I say, in the webinar later about relocation to Spain, along with all the other visas
and the children,
and everything else you need. Yeah, you're bringing family.
Relocation. With a Nomad visa, you could bring the children as well. I think if you could work remotely, I think it's beautiful. I mean, I think that's excellent, because having the opportunity for you to jump into a different country, still carry on working, earning a good money if you're earning in your home country, I think it's excellent. I mean, for those who've got the opportunity, not everybody has that, but because some specific jobs, you need to be physically in the place.
Yeah.
But I think it's beautiful if you could have that and bring your children and have an experience, and you could carry on if you like. You could go back. So a lot of people are trying to do, a lot of Europeans are trying to do that as well, even though they don't need a visa, but they need the law, the Beckham law, which is, this law is the Beckham law being modified. In the old days, you will only, it was a different way, but now they allow you to do 80%, 20%.
This is for European Union citizens.
EU. Yes. The Beckham law is for any nationality.
Okay.
The Nomad visa is only for non-Europeans.
Okay.
So when I
always forget what the difference is.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
So when we talk about the Nomad visa, we try to think that is a package only for Nomad visa, but it's a mixture of things. Is the taxation, which it goes for everybody. So everybody who's been outside Spain more than 5 years could apply for this. Will not apply for the visa because you don't need to.
No.
But a lot of people working in France, in the Netherlands, they will be happy to work remotely, get paid what they get paid over there, pay less, and live here in the sun. And they do, and they tell me, and they bring their children.
So there's a bit involved in applying for it, but as I say, totally worth it in the end. All right, so that's, as I say, if you want to ask any questions, the webinar is later on, so 6:30 mainland Spain, 5:30 Canaries and UK, 12:30 New York time.
Okay.
Not saying that sounds glamorous.
Yeah.
And it's, as I say, it's a broad subject, so get involved. If you register in advance, you can ask questions, put questions to our experts there. Yeah. All right, so have a good one with that, and good to see you again.
Okay, see you soon then.
We'll see you back in a couple of weeks.
Thank you, Moody.
Right, it's not eat anymore into Dougie's daytime. Dougie Mac on the way next here. Cal back later on this afternoon. Have a good day. News from Spain and the UK next year.
You're listening to BayRadio.